is most of our kids were on a band trip that left Friday and got back on Saturday night, so we really didn't have much of a dress rehearsal, so to speak. So hopefully everything will work out. We are going to give you an idea of what's going to happen today. First of all, we have more coffee, juice. If you want more, just raise your hand. Our student council, that's all these kids here, will gladly refill you. Black. Mary wants a black one as well. Black or coffee, I'm not sure. So just take the orange juice around. So they'll take care of you there. In the meantime, who did not get a flyer to fill out? Everyone get one to fill out? Wonderful, because we're going to introduce you guys just briefly in our assembly to our student body. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the assembly. We'll go over there. Some of it's kind of like last year. There's some new twists, new surprises type stuff. We'll have the assembly maybe just a little bit longer this year because there's more people here, and I thank you for coming out. This is for you. It's not for us. We're not trying to get any brownie points or anything like that. This is for you. I think it's important for our kids to know what you've done, what a lot of our people are still doing, and this is a great way for us to show our student body that. You'll hear me say this, I put it in the speech this year, these are the types of things that don't show up in state report cards. And I guarantee you, the majority of the schools in our state don't do things like this. I think you do a great job at this school doing stuff like this, and in our county for that matter. But anyway, we'll bring you in, I'll sit you down, you'll be on the floor. I have a few things to say, our student council has a few things to say. We have a couple surprises for you, hopefully. When we conclude the assembly, a couple of gentlemen would like to speak, because we've done this in the past. Dave will speak to our juniors and seniors, and anybody else. I think it's important that you do that, or that they hear from you, because in the past on Veterans Day, Dave and I think Jim's been in and talked to the upperclassmen, and I think it kind of opens their eyes because, like Dave and Jim was saying to those kids, we were in your shoes, and 6 months later we were on a plane going overseas, just like that. They don't quite understand that. Kids nowadays don't quite understand that. I don't understand that going into those things. Also, a great story that Dave told one time, or I don't know if he told our kids or you're telling me or whatever, Dave. When the Hueys first came here for the Fort Fest that first year, nobody knew they were coming, and Dave said, here they come, and everybody looked at Dave kind of funny. He could hear that because that meant safety. Didn't it, Dave? You know what he said? And when you were over in Vietnam, for our kids to hear something like that and what it meant to them. And I remember, right, Jim, you were military police? Yeah, Berkeley? Yeah. Enough said, right? And these guys anyway. So he explained that to them, and I don't know if our kids can relate to the things that were happening then. So we appreciate that. If there's anyone else who want to stick around and tell stories or inform our kids of some things, our juniors and seniors are staying in the gym. You guys can speak with them, maybe have questions, what have you. The rest of you, we are doing tours again. We're going to the elementary for a classroom or two this year. We'll have 5 groups. One group's going to start and we'll circle around. They won't be as long as stops this year. One group's going to go visit an elementary class. If you haven't been in an elementary classroom for a while, I'm sure it'll shock you because it's a lot different than it used to be. We'll stop and show you the things we have in our high school lobby. We will show you what Mr. Johnson is doing. I think he's doing an experiment in biology today. That's always interesting in there. Hopefully there's no smoke comes out or anything. But, he does a great job in there. He's also in charge of our outdoor lab. Obviously the weather's kind of crappy. We're not going to take you out there today. We're going to stop by Mr. Sain's room. Mr. Sain is in our old, what we used to call industrial arts room. And what that is now is a manufacturing. He teaches some junior high stuff as well. Teaches some manufacturing. He has a robotic arm in there. I don't know if I'll display that today, but I know he has 3D printers in there. He's making some stuff today. And then we're going to stop by a resource room as well. The resource room is a room where these kids can go, students can go, relax, get help. They need help studying. We have 2 resource teachers. It doesn't look like a traditional classroom, so I thought we might want to see that as well. So those will be different stops. And then at the conclusion, we'll go down to Mrs. Von Lemon's room. I know it's going to be crowded and tight, but if we could all just meet down there and maybe kind of go through individually or something. She's going to show you what our video editing class does. What they do is, I have to do them sometimes because it's supposed to be a newscast. But if anyone's ever seen, in part of my language, MTV used to have a movie called Jackass, or a show called Jackass, where they do all kinds of silly things. Sometimes that's what it turns into when I have to do all this stuff. But they do newscasts over student council events, or athletics, or whatever else is going on. They'll probably have some things from this event on there. They show that monthly, maybe. If you're familiar with the internet and so forth, it's on our website. They usually put it on there after we show it at lunch here, the big screen up here. So that gives you an idea of what's going to happen today. So we appreciate you coming. If you need coffee or whatever, just raise your hand. Cindy, where's Cindy at? She's our student council president. She will get your cards. She'll come around and get your cards. If you need coffee or juice, just raise your hand. These guys will get it for you. Or if you want another donut, there's probably plenty up here. And in the meantime, I'm going to get the student body into the gymnasium. Does anyone have any questions? As we exit, please be careful. You go this way up the ramp or the arch of steps there. Just be careful when you go out, and I'll be back to lead us in there. Okay? Good morning. Thank you all for being here today as we honor these veterans sitting beside me here again today. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Fort Jennings Junior Senior High School Student Council President, Cindy Seabonek. She has helped us tremendously today in preparing this event, and she will also lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem. Cindy.
Welcome to today's ceremony. We are here to recognize our local men and women and their spouses who have served in the military to protect and allow us our freedoms we enjoy every day. We often take these freedoms for granted, such as having the opportunity to attend school in a great community, use electronic devices, and to speak freely outside of school. These men and women have sacrificed to allow us these sorts of privileges which are not allowed in some countries, some parts of the world. This is an opportunity to thank all you veterans for your service and sacrifice to our great nation. Thank you to all veterans for your sacrifice and service. We're also thinking of those who are there in spirit and who have answered the call of duty. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Something I found when preparing for last year's speech for our student body, and please think about this student body. Many of these veterans didn't ask to leave their homes to fight on distant battlefields. Many didn't even volunteer. They didn't go to war because they loved fighting. They were called to be part of something bigger than themselves. They were ordinary people who responded in extraordinary ways in extreme times. They rose to the nation's call because they wanted to protect the nation, which has given them and has given us so much. And because of that, we are inviting all these veterans into our school today, one, to say thank you for your service and for our freedoms, and two, to display all the great things that we do here because of what our community and our nation has supported us and has allowed us to do because of their sacrifices. This support would not be possible if our freedoms in this nation were not defended by veterans like you. So student body, we need to strive better and be better for what these veterans and our community members have done for all of us. Now I'd like to call Cindy up, and we have some special guests this year, and she will introduce them, as well as our veterans that are here today.
We're doing something a little different this year, as we have some special guests with us today. But first, I'd like to introduce each veteran and their guests. Please stand when your name is called. George Hellman and Carol Hellman. They served in the Army. Dale and Helen Cabbage served in the Air Force. Travis Henwaldy served in the Army. Dale and Marianne Good served in the Army. Terrence Eidmeyer served in the Army. Joe Mesker served in the Navy. Bud and Judy Leading served in the Army. Norman and Mickey Schindler served in the Army. Dan and Alice Swift served in the Army. James and Mary Gomer served in the Army. Tim and Annette Lambert served in the Army. Ryan Pavlich served in the Navy. We also have somebody on staff, Joy Noriega, aka Mrs. N, who served in the Air National Guard. Next, I would like to introduce Kim Rice Turley from Flag City Honor Flight to explain what Honor Flight is.
Good morning. My name is Kim Rice Turley. I am the Medical Coordinator and Veteran Coordinator for Flag City Honor Flight. We are one hub out of 130 across the United States. Honor flights fly veterans free of charge to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials that were built in their honor. We fly 2 flights a year. We take a 737. We actually charter a 737, so we take 165 people. So we fly with approximately 80 veterans each flight. Our hub does something rather unique. There's only a couple hubs across the country that do what we do. We actually have 2 bus trips a year too. So in April and in October, we take a bus with Vietnam era veterans. So we take approximately 30 veterans on each bus trip. So we take 4 what we call missions a year to Washington, D.C. Right now, our flights are mostly World War II and Korean era veterans. However, you do not have to have served during a time of conflict to qualify for an honor flight. That's a big misunderstanding that a lot of veterans and just the general community have about honor flight. Any veteran who has served at any point for our country and signed on the line to defend us is eligible for an honor flight. And that includes the reserves and the National Guard. So one of the things you all can do to help us is to make sure when you are out talking in the community to relatives, to neighbors, that when they mention they are not eligible for an honor flight because they didn't serve during World War II, they served after World War II, or they served in the National Guard, or they were just in the reserves, you can tell them, you know what? I heard that you're actually eligible for an honor flight because we still have a lot of veterans who served between World War II and Korea who don't realize that they are actually eligible to go on an honor flight. And those veterans are in their late 80s, early 90s, which means we still have to reach them and we need to reach them quickly. So when they are in Washington, D.C., what do? We take them to see the National Mall, so they see the World War II, the Korean and the Vietnam memorials. They see the Air Force Memorial, and they see the changing of the guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. While they're there, they have a guardian assigned to them for all day, so that whatever needs they have, they are taken care of. We go with wheelchairs, so the veterans that cannot walk all day do not have an issue. Whatever they need to take care of them on flight day, we take care of. So, thank you very much for having me here, and please help us to keep on finding those veterans and get them to apply so that we can take them on their honor flight so we can say thank you for everything you have done for our country.
Thank you, Kim. Veterans, you might have noticed we don't necessarily have a token of appreciation for you this year like we did last year. But we do have something in honor of all our local veterans here in Fort Jennings area, including all of you. Our student body has held several fundraisers. The student council has donated their profits from the throwback dance. We had 2 dress-up days. And we also had a fundraiser in which the class that brought in the most money was able to have a free gym class with me. Oh, yeah, I'm probably the guy who's going to get hit by the dodgeballs, probably. But anyway, so if I could have all our student class presidents, please come forward at this time. With all those proceeds, we are going to make a donation in your honor, all of your honor, all the local veterans in the area, to Flag City Honor Flight. So if I could have the presidents of each class come forward, and our student council president, Cindy, as well as Kim, we would like to make this donation at this time. The Fort Jennings student body has raised and is donating $1,275.68 to the Flag City Honor Flight in honor of all veterans sitting here today and all veterans in the Fort Jennings area. Thank you for all that you have done. And this is what the students have been waiting for. The winning class to raise the most money for the gym class is, with a total of $320.69, the seniors. That's awesome. I'd like to thank all the student body for all your efforts and the student council and their advisor, Mr. Jostle, for donating as well. That is an example of one of the many great things our school does here, or our entire school district does. And as Mr. DeBay once said, those things don't show up on the state report card. If they did, we'd be knocking it out of the park every year. I think it's important for our students to understand what Honor Flight means for the veterans who have gone. Some of our local veterans just recently participated in Honor Flight. So if I could have Lou Puttis and Bob Langhouse. Bob is Mr. Langhouse's uncle, and Lou Puttis is a resident here at Fort Jennings. They both just returned from the Honor Flight, and I asked them just to say a few words on what that Honor Flight meant to them, so you guys realize that your money that you donated is going for a great, great cause. Lou and Bob. This is Lou Puttis. He was just on the Honor Flight with the bus with Kim. You were there too, right?
Yep.
Thanks, Lou.
Yes. I was encouraged to sign up for an honor flight for my cousin. And you have to know my cousin. He doesn't get excited about anything. But when he talked to me, he gushed. He says, you have to go. He encouraged me, pushed me. And Kim, you and Flag City lived up to his expectations very, very much. Probably the biggest thing I enjoyed, besides the all the lines being taken care of, was just the respect. People would meet you, talk to you, shake your hand, and say thank you for your service. It was very, very respectful. I can't say anything else. Thank you very much.
With him when that bus tour and Kim was Mr. Bob Langhouse, who's actually from Iowa, as I said, Mr. Langhouse's uncle. Bob, could you share some story with us, please?
Yes, my nephew is Superintendent Langhouse.
He's not here today.
He's not here today. He's probably here. Anyhow, they wanted me to tell you a few things about the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. They have I think it's the Old Guard, they call it. They're the ones assigned to protect the tomb. And every year they have tryouts for that honor. And they started with 109 or 10 guys from that old guard. And they whittled it down to 8. And they followed those 8 guys with a film crew. To make a long story short, at the end of the film, none of the 8 made it. They were all disqualified. And the tomb, that their job is to protect the tomb of the unknown at all costs. And they do everything when they walk the mat, is what they call it. They walk this mat in front of the tomb. And everything is based on 21. They take 21 steps. They get to the end of the mat. They change. They put their weapon on the opposite shoulder and they walk back. They wait 21 counts. They switch the weapon to the other shoulder. They walk back 21 steps. And they do that constantly for their shift, which is usually about an hour long. And the whole time they walk, they're under video surveillance. The crowd, everybody is under surveillance the whole time. So the soldiers that are walking, they do this for, like I said, a half an hour, I think, in the summer. And then in the fall, it goes to an hour. And just to show you their dedication and their discipline, the one guy, they all wear sunglasses. The one guy had a bumblebee get behind his lens and stung him in the eye. And on the video, nobody could tell what happened. He never broke stride. He never showed emotion. He never showed pain. He got to the end of the mat. There's a little tent you can walk into to call down below to the sergeant of arms. He walked in there, made a call, and asked to be relieved, and stood there at attention until they came up and relieved him. Nobody knew what happened. And they relieved him, and he went down. Here he had stung with a bumblebee behind his sunglasses, and nobody even knew it. And I thought that's just an example of the dedication that these guys had. When we got there, Kim has all the honor flight guys stand at a certain area, and the honor guard never acknowledges anybody. They're there to protect the tomb. They don't acknowledge anybody unless somebody in the crowd does something stupid. Believe you me, you will be acknowledged then. Anyhow, Kim told us before the changing the guard that they would acknowledge all the veterans today. The sergeant of arms, or sergeant of the guard, said he will stuff his heel twice when he walks by us, because they all wear these clips under their shoes. And it was pretty cool. You could hear a pin drop. There might be 500 people there, and you could hear a pin drop. It's that quiet. And when he walked by, he stuffed his heel twice to acknowledge us, but nobody knew it was those guys. I thought that was pretty cool. I guess that's about it. But it's really something to see if you ever get a chance to go there and watch the changing of the guard. It's phenomenal. And to all the veterans sitting here, if you haven't been on an honor flight or a bus trip, I highly recommend it. And that gal down there on the end does a super job. If you want to get on, I suggest go see her and get the ball rolling. Thank you.
Thank you, guys, and all the veterans once again. You might have noticed the local people who are currently serving on the slideshow behind me. I would like to direct your attention there at this time so we can explain some things. These are recent graduates or residents who are serving now. Rob has some more things for us here in just a second. Not only is it a picture of them, as you saw, there's planes and ships that they work with. That's also Myrock. He just graduated last year. He's in the Marines. Jeremy Snyder, he's a recent graduate. He's in the Guards, I believe he got sent back. Michael Bamer, his dad's here, Jim Bamer, who emailed me some pictures. Ryan Grader, recent graduate. He actually helps the track team when he's here, coach. This one's a really cool picture. He's in the fighter jet there. Austin Karras, you can see some pictures of his ship. We did have a surprise, but it's not so much a surprise now. The Tumblinsons, are you here? Where are you at, Dylan, Maddie? Come on down here. Your dad's going to be on here shortly. Her dad is serving right now at Kuwait, Iraq, something like that. So we're going to show you here, and then you're going to go talk to him, okay? Good. We had a little technical difficulty here. We've got everybody here. I'm gonna kind of scan around so we see what's going. Similar to last year, when you were here with us, we got your kids here. We're gonna take the phone. We're gonna go talk to them and have a conversation with them. We wanted you up here on this screen here. Well, we had to get a little malfunction. So, student body, hey, we wish you the best over there. Take care of yourself, and thanks for all you're doing. And I know you got Jeremy who's over there as well, right?
Yes, actually, Jeremy just north of where I'm at right now. It's kind of getting out this fall, but his missionary out north a little bit 2 days ago, so he just got another state. He's doing pretty well up there. I know there's a lot of students that went to school with him, so he's doing really well up there.
Good, good. I'm going to pan around here, and then we're going to let you go talk to your family, Justin. Thank you. Justin Thomas. Thanks, Rob. As stated earlier, we stand in the midst of patriots and the family and friends of those who have nobly served. We are also thinking of those who are here only in spirit, who also answer the call of their duty. So to honor all those veterans who have sacrificed the ultimate and those who have since passed, I ask you to stand and join me in a moment of silence while we invite Marina Lucas to come forward, and she will play taps for all the veterans who are no longer with us. Thank you. Thank you, Maria. At this time, I'd like to thank the Student Council, their advisor, Mr. Gospel, Marina Lucas, City Stephen A., and all the student helpers. All you veterans for being here. Kim, Honor Flight, Flag City, Bob and Lou for sharing their experiences in Honor Flight. Mary Jean Schweller took care of a lot of phone calls and so forth in the office for all her efforts. Also like to thank the maintenance staff helping with the flag. I had a little glitch with it. We got it working. And also all the staff members, teachers, and students here at Fort Jennings High School. Like we said earlier, this doesn't happen everywhere, and we don't do it for anything special, but we do it for you guys, and thank you all for your service. At this time, we're going to be escorting some of the veterans and the guests throughout the school. If there's any relatives, grandchildren, nieces, nephews that would like to come down, in just a moment you come down and speak with your relatives. Teachers, we will be sure to get them back to class, so you don't have to wait on them for elementary students. We'll get them back to class. We'll have a few moments to share with the veterans here. High school student body, you will return to class except for the juniors and seniors. You will stay here. We're going to have a little visit with some of the veterans. So once again, on behalf of Fort Jennings High School, I'd like to thank all of you veterans, and please accept our contribution to the honor flight. Thank you for this wonderful day.